Want to make your home videos picture perfect? Then there are a few things you should know. For example, this is not a pan. This is a pan. This is not a zoom. This is a zoom. A tilt? Definitely not a tilt. Stand by and our News on 12 photographer will give you the angle to make your home videos picture perfect. Wednesday at 6.
You better make sure you watch.
Any one of us could pick up a video camera and start shooting, but what we come out with may not look so great.
Tonight in our News on 12 Extra Picture Perfect, our photographer Marty Hamrick has the tricks of the trade to help you tidy up your video library.
So you bought a camcorder, a sizable investment. What now? It's fully automatic. All you have to do is put in a tape, push a button, and everything you shoot will look great, right? Well, maybe. The first thing you need to do is read your camcorder's manual, learn what the buttons do and where the plugs plug in. Now for a test run. All camcorders have autofocus, but here's something you should consider. Your camcorder's autofocus mechanism works by firing an infrared beam at the subject. The beam bounces back to the camera, and the lens is focused. This will work fine as long as nothing stands between your camera and the subject, but anything in the foreground will throw the focus off. So turn off that autofocus, zoom in all the way on your subject, focus manually, compose your shot, and roll tape. Maintaining your focus on a moving subject, like a bride coming down an aisle, is a skill that takes practice and can only be done manually. Your camera's auto iris adjusts to different conditions in lighting. It opens up in low light and closes down in bright light. For the most part, it should work fine. But there are conditions that will fool the auto iris into making the wrong judgment. That could be pictures that are too dark or too bright. This white cat shows up too brightly because the auto iris is adjusting to the dark background. In this case, you'll have to go manual and turn the iris toward the closed position. If your background is too bright, your subject will show up only in silhouette. Your camera's backlight compensator button will help bring out the detail. Well, so much for the technical stuff. That's half the battle. Remember now, with video, you're telling a story with pictures, and your technique will be the visual language that will tell that story to your audience.
I don't want to look at it sometimes. I feel a little embarrassed. Some of them are embarrassing. Look at it.
Here's what's embarrassing. The camera's all over the place, never resting on anything long enough to tell what you're looking at. Your video should consist of a series of steady, well-composed shots lasting somewhere between 1 and 5 seconds. Start with the wide shots, then go in for the medium shots and close-ups, and keep your camera moves to a minimum. When making a horizontal move or pan, start with a still shot, pan smoothly, and hold your shot still. The same rule applies for tilts or vertical moves. As you apply these rules, you will begin to look at your video with a critical eye. Your technique will improve, and your tapes will have a more polished look that should please any audience. I'm photographer Marty Hamrick with the News on 12 Extra.
Now, if you have a video camera and happen to catch a news event on tape, just call the News on 12 and we'll pay you for a copy of it.
Otherwise, if you are just looking for some good tips on shooting video and shooting it well, you can write us here at the station or drop by and we can give you one of our pamphlets to help. And by the way, we will pay you for that video that you shoot if it airs.